Hey there, frog.
I'm not a frog. I'm an old lady.
You just don't sound like an old lady.
Oh no, he's seeing through my disguise.
Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, arguably the biggest addition in the recent patch for Monster Hunter Wilds is a whole new endgame RNG grinding system, which is for the appraised talismans. Unlike the standard craftable talismans, these can only drop from 9-star monster quests and are fully randomized what you actually get when you appraise it. Or I guess more accurately, things are randomly selected from a specific pool of options that they can get, which fits within a set of rules. And that means if we know what the pool is, if we know what the rules are, we have a full understanding of every talisman that could possibly roll and exist within this system. This is very helpful knowledge for just understanding the value of any talisman that you have, so you know if you just got a piece of junk that you can just instantly meld into a new one, or if you found the holy grail of perfection for your weapon type. Today we're going to go through all of the rules surrounding the RNG on these talismans, as it has all been worked out. Shout out to DTL Noir for getting the raw data worked out on this. And first things first, there are rarity 5 talismans, there are rarity 6 talismans, there are rarity 7 talismans, and there are rarity 8 talismans. The rarity defines what can roll on the talisman to begin with, but it doesn't necessarily mean that higher rarity talismans will be better, especially as you will see the rarity 7, rarity 6, and even rarity 5 talismans have a lot of potential too if you get lucky. That's important to be aware of as well, because the game doesn't seem to consider that to be the case. When rolling on an appraisal talisman, it has a 59% chance of being a rarity 5, it has a 27% chance of being a rarity 6, it has an 11% chance of being a rarity 7, and only a 3% chance at being a rarity 8 talisman. So thankfully, you'll find out through the data today that even rarity 5 and 6 talismans do have the potential to be extremely good. The general way of describing these then, if you want a very shallow overview, each rarity of talisman has a set number of templates that it can choose from, and each template has either 2 or 3 skills that it can roll. These cannot be group bonuses or set bonuses, or for the weapon skills that roll, it doesn't include the super unique monster specific ones like White Flame Torrent from Zoshia, or Slick Blade from Mizutsune, or of course Blade Scale Hone from the Seregios weapons, or even Evading Reload from the ranged Seregios weapons, which is sad for bowgun because that would be awesome to get on a talisman. That said, all of these skills that are possible to exist are split into different groups to define their relative value. There are 10 groups that these skills are split into because they have a different amount of skill ranks depending on what group it's in. An example is Attack Boost 1 is a Group 1 skill. Attack Boost 3 counts as a Group 3 skill, but Airborne, for example, only exists as a Group 2 skill and nothing else. Each of the talisman templates then will pick from a set choice of these groupings, and then the decoration slockets are also rolled from a small pool of potential options. With that in mind, the logical starting point here is to go through and talk about what skills are inside each group and what rank they're at. So I'll have all of these going by on the screen here. I won't read off every entry because there is a ton going on here, but this is all of the information you need about the actual groups and what is in them for any time that I mention or reference each group moving forwards. Generally speaking, Group 1 is all weapon skills that are 1 decoration slot of value. Group 2 is weapon skills again, but this time 2 decoration slots of value. Group 3 is weapon skills that are 3 decoration slots of value. And then Group 4 is a bit of an odd one. This is 2 decoration slots of value for weapon skills again, but for the most part, this is a very small selection of weapon skills compared to Group 2. Very tight, it cuts out a lot of the sort of faff that most weapons wouldn't want, and it's arguably a much better pool as a result. Notably, however, Group 4 is the only group that can roll critical boost as a skill, and it only comes at rank 1 in this Group 2. So no other group can roll this skill, and it cannot appear above rank 1. Group 5 is entirely made of skills that are the equivalent of 1 decoration slot of value with armor skills, with the exception being that Botanist, Constitution, Defense Boost, and Wide Range all come with 2 ranks if you roll those skills in this group. Group 6 is essentially 2 ranks of all the same skills from Group 5, except that again, like the previous group, those same exact skills that I listed have another bonus rank, so 3 ranks for those specifically in Group 5. For Group 7, the same concept again, the same set of skills, but now 3 ranks for most of them, 4 ranks for the few that get a bonus again, and an extra note that any skill that only has 2 ranks does not show up in this group at all. Group 8 is 2-slot armor decoration skills as the equivalent, things like Counter-Strike and Maximum Might, or Earplugs and Mushromancer on the utility side. For the most part, these get 1 skill rank from this, with the exception being utility skills that have 5 maximum ranks, and those actually get 2 ranks in this group. Group 9 is that same set of skills once again, but 1 tier of value higher. So 2 ranks of all those skills, except for a few of them, which get 3 ranks instead due to having a higher maximum. Then we have our final group, Group 10, and this one is very, very simple. 1 singular 3-slot decoration equivalent of armor skill. 1 rank of agitator, 1 rank of burst, 1 rank of weakness exploit. So basically half of the best crafted talismans that we already had before this, just from one of the groups by itself. That's what all the groups are then, so now let's explain how that works into the talismans themselves. Each rarity of talisman has a set number of templates that decide the possible roles it can have. Rarity 5 talismans have 6 templates. One of these templates has a role from Group 1, which is the Tier 1 weapon skills, and then 2 separate skills from Group 6, which is the Tier 2 armor skills. One of these templates is Group 1 role, and then only one Group 7 skill, which is the Tier 3 armor skill roles. One of them gives a Group 1 role, as well as a Group 6 role, and a Group 8 role. One gives a Group 1 roll, a Group 9 roll, and then nothing else, and one gives just a Group 1 roll and then a Group 10 roll and nothing else. All Rarity 5 talismans also roll with one of the 4 decoration socket configurations, which is either 2 1-slot sockets, a 2-slot socket and a 1-slot socket, just a single 2-slot socket, or it can also roll with just only a 3-slot socket. An example of how this would work then is this talisman right here. We can see that it has 1 rank of Razor Sharp, 2 ranks of Hunger Resistance, and 1 rank of Mushroomancer. Compare that to our groupings earlier. 1 rank of Razor Sharp is a Group 1 roll, 2 ranks of Hunger Resistance is a Group 6 roll, and 1 rank of Mushroomancer is a Group 8 roll. Look back to our templates, you will see that is the 3rd template here, Group 1, Group 6, Group 8. An example of a Rarity 5 talisman being able to overtake the crafted talismans though is this one here, 1 Horn Maestro, 1 Agitator, and a 3-slot armor socket. This means it's the same amount of value as the 2 Agitator talisman that you can craft, except you also get 1 rank of Horn Maestro as a bonus rank for Hardened players, and this could be any other 1 rank of weapon skill other than critical boost, and you get some flexibility as well, as this can be 2 Agitator or it can be 1 Agitator with any other 3-slot armor skill in the socket instead. Moving up to Rarity 6 talismans then, there are 7 possible templates, and here they are on the screen. Group 1, and Group 7, Group 1, and Group 10, Group 2, Group 6, and Group 6 again, Group 2, Group 8, and Group 8 again, and it's worth noting for the ones that have 2 of the same group, you cannot roll the same skill in the same group twice on the same talisman. Then there's also a template with Group 2 and Group 9 only, and then one template that has Group 2 and Group 10 only. These are pretty much straight upgrades of the Rarity 5 talismans in this regard, as most of them are fairly identical in the templates, except in most of them, Group 1 rolls have been replaced with Group 2, which is generally just an extra rank of a weapon skill. However, it's worth noting that these also have their own decoration socket rolls too. Again, the possible rolls are the same for all of the Rarity 6 talismans. They all share the same potential decoration slots, which is either 2 1-slot sockets, 1 2-slot socket, and a 1-slot socket as well, 1 singular 1-slot socket, and a 1 singular 2-slot socket option as well. All of these options are again armor decoration slots, not weapon decorations. So Rarity 5s can roll 3-slot decoration slots, and Rarity 6s can't, which is an important distinction. An example of a good Rarity 6 talisman though, with this in mind, would be something like 2 attack boost or 2 critical eye on the first roll, 2 counter strike on the second roll, and a 2-slot socket and a 1-slot socket on top. A popular talisman that's used for a lot of builds is the 3 counter strike talisman, and for a relative value comparison, a talisman like this could fit 3 counter strike, but then also have 2 attack boost or 2 critical eye on top of that, and a 1-slot socket too, which is quite a lot of bonus power. An important note here as well is that Rarity 7 and Rarity 8 talismans cannot roll from Group 9. Group 9 is the one that has 2 ranks of level 2 armor decoration skills, so things like 2 counter strike or 2 maximum might, which is quite relatively high value. This means if you want 2 ranks of those skills on your talisman as a high priority, Rarity 5 and 6 talismans are actually the ones that you'd want to pay closer attention to, as there is only one Rarity 5 template with a Group 9 skill that can also roll a 3-slot decoration socket, and only one Rarity 6 template with a Group 9 skill that has a Group 2 skill paired with it as well. Next up, we've got our rarity 7 and 8 talismans, and we'll be tackling these together for an interesting but specific reason. Rarity 7 and 8 talismans have the exact same set of potential skill rolls on them, the actual groups that their templates pull from, but they have different sets of potential decoration sockets. What I mean by this is that they share 8 templates of the skill groups that they can have. They are identical between rarity 7 and 8, but then they have different sets of possible socket rolls for rarity 7 and a different set of possible socket rolls on rarity 8. So the difference between these literally only comes down to the sockets themselves. That said, here are the templates for rarity 7 and 8 talismans as far as the skills. Group 2 skill, Group 1 skill, and Group 7 skill, so that's 2 weapon skill rolls and 1 armor skill roll. Group 2, Group 1, and Group 8, that's 2 weapon skill rolls and a 2-slot equivalent armor skill. Group 2, Group 1, and Group 10, which is 2 weapon skill rolls and then a 3-slot equivalent armor skill. Then we've also got a template that is Group 3, Group 5, and Group 6. This is 1 high-tier weapon roll and 2 low-tier armor skill rolls. We've got one that is Group 3 and Group 7, so 1 roll of high tier weapon skill, 1 roll of highest tier for 1-slot decoration equivalent armor skills. We've got Group 3, Group 5, and Group 8, so again a higher tier weapon skill roll, a 1-slot equivalent armor skill, and then a 2-slot equivalent armor skill. We've got a template that is a Group 3 and Group 10 and nothing else, so a 3-slot equivalent weapon skill, and then a 3-slot equivalent armor skill as well, which is one of the more solid ones that you can be offered. And then the final template is Group 4, Group 1, and Group 1 again. This contains the highest potential tier of weapon skills that are at 2 ranks. It's the group that can spawn critical boost at 1 rank as well, and then you also get 2 Group 1 rolls, which is like the 1-slot equivalent weapon skills. As for the decoration slots on these, the rarity 7 talisman specifically can roll either a single 1-slot, 2 1-slots, or a single 2-slot. The exception is the template that has Group 2, Group 1, and Group 8 skill rolls. That one can roll either 2 1-slots, a single 2-slot, or a single 3-slot. The rest follow the rules normally though, and these again are all armor decoration slots for skills. Rarity 8 is where things change it up a bit, as all rarity 8 templates are guaranteed to have a 1-slot weapon skill decoration. They can also roll with either 1 or 2 of the armor slot skill sockets on top of that, but every single rarity 8 talisman will have a 1-slot weapon skill socket no matter what. That's what makes it count as rarity 8 to begin with. That's what makes the difference. Some examples of rarity 7 and rarity 8 talismans that can go crazy then would be something like the template with Group 3 and Group 10 that can roll as 3 attack boost and 1 agitator, or 1 weakness exploit. And then if it's rarity 8, you can get a 1-slot weapon skill socket on that too for a 4th bit of attack boost on top of that. Then you can also get lucky and roll 2 more 1-slot sockets on it for some armor skill utility too. All this to say, these talismans are undeniably capable of rolling better than the crafted talismans, but there is just a buttload of RNG involved in it. Getting an absolutely perfectly rolled talisman is going to take a lot of time, if it even happens for you to begin with. But there are plenty of rolls that are achievable in the sort of middle ground of this, where it can definitely be better than a crafted talisman, but not quite perfect, and those are the ones that will improve your current builds more than likely, and the ones that are very achievable in the short term. These talismans aren't completely game-breaking, but they are something that you can farm and grind for meaningful upgrades now that the majority of people are done farming both for decorations and for artian weapon parts, so it fills a very useful role in the game. A lot of the talismans that you get will be useless, but a few of them may become a genuine part of your builds, and this is all of the information that you need to work out every possible combination of the talismans that exists, as well as a bit on how those could actually look in game and what some of the ideal versions of them would look like too. I hope you've all enjoyed this then, and hopefully it's helped you out with your understanding of the new RNG appraisal talisman system added into Monster Hunter Wilds. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet. Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.